I'm always telling you guys whom not to date. I tell you, no, never date a girl over the age of 25. Never date damaged goods. Never date a single mother, right? Well, here comes another one. Never date a woman who competes with you. Years ago, I think it was in college. Yeah, it was in college, actually. I dated this girl who played squash. Now, I played squash, and I was pretty bad at it, but I enjoyed it, right? And so she and I went to play squash one day. Okay, I dated her, I don't know, it must have been a couple of weeks or something like that. And we went to play squash, and she beat me, you know, and she was very happy about it. And she sort of like, you know, rubbed my nose in it. And I was like, oh, fine, you know, I could care less, you know, because I have never been somebody who's competitive about sports because I've never been very good at sports. So if I lose, I'm pretty good-natured about it, right? So she rubbed my nose in it, and that was fine. And she thrashed me pretty badly, and fine, I could care less. But then in other things, you know, we would go out, and you know, she was talking about how much money she was making and trying to get out how much money I was making. I was doing fairly well. Fact of the matter is, she actually told me how much she made, and I knew, just because of what she said, that I earned more, a lot more than her. But, you know, I didn't want to talk about it because, you know, talking about how much money you make with a woman, you know, especially when you're starting to date her, what the fuck is that all about, right? But she was like competitive in every regard. After about 2-3 weeks, I just stopped seeing her. She was exhausting, right? And that's the thing. See, there are a lot of guys who date these girls who want to compete with them, okay? Now, notice what I'm saying. I'm not talking about women who are competitive. There are some women who are competitive, but who recognize that with their man, they should never compete. That's not the reason to have a relationship. But there are other women who don't understand the dynamic, okay? I mean, like, you know, yin and yang. What's yin and yang? You know, the black and the white, and they complement each other, right? And that's what men and women are. They complement each other. They're not at loggerheads crashing into each other. No. They come together. They complement one another and create one unit, the couple, and potentially the family. See? But if you have a woman who's constantly competing with you, who's crashing against you, and it's every little fucking thing, you know, you're never going to have any peace in your domestic relationship. And that's exactly what you want in a domestic partnership. That's what you want with a woman. You want peace. You want to complement one another. Now, fucking feminists, for instance, they go on and say, oh, you know, you want a challenging woman. I don't want a fucking challenging woman. No, of course not. I'd be insane to want a challenging woman. Why would I want to come home to a woman who challenges me all the time after I've had a hard fucking day at work? Huh? I mean, I've been challenged at work by my boss, by my peers, my subordinates, right? You know, I have like some business and I'm trying to make it succeed. I'm working like a fucking animal, right? And I get home and my woman wants to challenge me? Fuck that. I don't want that. I want a little bit of peace and calm and quiet and some comfort. See? But see, feminists don't understand this because, see, feminists, for them, men are the competition. They are not complementary. See? But you have to be wiser. You have to ignore these feminist idiots, right? And you have to ignore women who've swallowed that particular blue pill and find women who understand their role with the man. See? It's all perfectly fine for a woman to be competitive socially, competitive in her job, competitive in this, that, the other. She competes by dressing up nicely and wearing makeup and all the rest. It's perfectly fine to be competing like that. But you cannot have a woman, you do not want to be with a woman who wants to compete with you. Because ultimately, of course, what's going to happen, apart from not getting any peace, see, one of you is going to win and one of you is going to lose. And whoever loses is going to be resentful. And if somebody's resentful in a partnership, the man or the woman is resentful because the other beat them in something, what do you think is going to happen into the future? They're going to try to show them up in the future. And they're going to try to find something where they beat their partner. which is what you don't want, right? You don't want antagonism between the man and the woman. You want partnership. You want to be complements to one another, not at loggerheads with one another. See what I'm saying? But unfortunately, because of feminism and a lot of other things going on in our society today, women think that they have to be tough, that they have to, be fearless and competitive, and they have to be like these annoying little bitches with their men and antagonize them and show them up. See? And what man wants that? Because see, as a man, you have weaknesses, okay? I mean, like, for instance, me in squash, I'm not a good squash player. That's a big weakness. Ooh, I'm a horrible squash player, right? And so this woman that I dated, right? What did she do? She just thrashed the hell out of me in the court, right? And she beat me, and she laughed at me and all the rest of it, which I found annoying, but fine, But instead of doing that, what if she'd said, oh, let me show you how to be better? What do you think my reaction to her would have been? If we'd played a few points, right, and it was clear that she outclassed me, and instead of just like thrashing me, 15 to 5 or whatever the fuck the score was, because it was that lopsided. Instead of doing that, imagine if she'd stopped and say, oh, let me show you how to do this, or like some technique, or like taught me, helped me to be better. What do you think my reaction to her would have been? Would I have been insulted that she's teaching me to be better? No, not at all. I would have been happy. I would have really liked her. And I would have thought much better of her, because I would have thought to myself, well, this girl recognizes that I'm not a great squash player, but she wants me to improve. She doesn't want to keep me down. She wants to lift me up, right? And that's what you want with your woman. You want a woman who lifts you up. You want a woman who forgives you your deficiencies and weaknesses, the things that you're not good at. And instead of like rubbing your nose in your flaws, she tries to help you improve those flaws and maybe even turn those defects into virtues, into strengths. And that's what you want. You see what I'm saying? But it's hard. It'll be hard for you to find such a woman nowadays, because they've been indoctrinated with this bullshit that women have to compete with their man, that they have to be strong and fierce and independent. See? There is a time to be strong and fierce and independent. I'm talking about for women, of course. There is such a time to be such a person. But in your relationships, in a woman's relationship with a man, in a man's relationship with a woman, it has to complement. They have to help each other. People who compete are not helping each other. People who are competing are trying to defeat one another. Never forget that.